right, so today we're in here with real Orin. I'm so excited. We've been trying to get this interview in forever. So let's get it. So today I have some questions for human Orin, and then I also have some questions for cyborg Orin. And then there was like a couple questions that the audience asked, but there's people in here, so if they want to ask questions after all of this is over, then they can go ahead and ask. So I think I'm gonna start with the human questions first. So hi Orin, how old are you?
We are 27. Our birthday was 2 days ago.
Oh cool, happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
What's your favorite color?
Our favorite color is presumably blue or black. We can't decide between the two.
Right. What's your favorite food?
We love acai.
What is that?
Acai is a Brazilian superfood. It has some antioxidants, at least about 7.
Oh cool. Do you believe in astrology?
To a degree, yes. We've been on this planet for hundreds, thousands of years, and the stars help us to decide how we're going to harvest, when we're going to harvest the floods. So we do believe that there's a correlation between the stars, our position, and the way things happen and are affected on Earth. Yes.
Okay, cool. So what's your zodiac sign?
We're Pisces.
Oh, same.
When's your birthday?
March 12th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fellow Pisces sistren.
Yay. Where are you from?
We live and were born in New York.
If you don't mind me asking, what high school did you go to? Is that okay?
Of course. We went to Ketchum.
Are you still friends with anyone from that school?
Yes.
How long have you been wanting to make music? Was it something you've always wanted to do?
We have been making music since we were 15. We started putting music out when we were around 20.
Do you feel like your environment as a child influences your music now?
Definitely. As a child, we needed a lot of ways to express ourselves, and music was an easy way to do that without venting or stressing to other people.
Right. What kind of music did you listen to as a kid?
We listened to a lot of things: Earth, Wind, and Fire, Luther Vandross, Marvin Gaye. Our parents are very big into hip hop and R&B, coming out of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And so we grew up listening to a lot of that, a lot of R&B, which is where we eventually want our music to get to. We have a lot of different music, but we think it's just a timing thing.
Yeah, you're a very versatile artist, so I can see that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, what kinds of TV shows did you watch as a kid? Do you feel like that also kind of influences your style now?
Of course, a lot of animes, a lot of Cartoon Network, Code Lyoko, Toonami, things like that, yes.
Oh, yeah. Wait. So you said that you started making music when you were 15. Does that mean you were making music when you were in school?
Yes.
Did
we
you ever
were
show your
actually-
peers?
Did we ever what?
Show your peers?
We did, and they liked it. People had
wow.
different opinions. Some people would hate, some people would like it. But by the time we were seniors, everybody knew we made music. We'd gotten a following on SoundCloud. Doja Cat had reposted our music. At the time, she didn't even have profile pictures. And that kind of gave us our initial audience.
Right. Okay, cool. That's cool as fuck.
Thank you.
So did your family know you were making music at that time, or did they start finding out when you started to blow up?
Our family knew that we were making music, but it wasn't until we really started to do shows at Webster Hall. We opened for Smokey Margella. That was when our family started to realize that we were trying to build a platform.
Huh. So how did your family feel about your music when you started, and how do they feel about it now?
They've definitely always supported it. They've always had opinions on how it should sound, what words we should and shouldn't say, but they support the mission. And after taking a break for a year, we feel as if our voice is aligned with our visual narrative, and so nobody should have anything to say.
Right, that's cool as fuck. And then as far as shows, how many shows have you done, like overall?
A lot, more than 50 at least.
Oh, wow. What was your first show like?
Our first show was sponsored by NYU. They had a local paper, and they wrote an article about us, and then it was called the NYU Local. And after they put out the paper, they asked us to perform at a venue, and it was fun. There were over 50 people there. It was a rainy day. It was a little bit cold, but all of our friends were there, and it felt good to perform. Definitely a bit
Right.
nervous, but it was fun.
That's cool. So have you done any shows recently? Like, Corona is kind of crazy, but I've noticed like this past year, people have just started to like perform more. So have you done any shows recently?
Yes, we were lucky to do a show back in August. We were flown out to Germany for a festival called Wildermeer.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like Coachella in the woods in Berlin.
Oh,
And
wow.
they also had a virtual experience. And so because we dropped NFTs with their partner, they asked us to come to Berlin and we did a show at a festival in front of 300 people, again in the rain, which was fun.
So what was the crowd like there?
They were definitely more loose. In America
Yeah.
and New York, people are more conscious of how they look, who they're with. In Germany, people want to get loose. So whether or not they're in the rain or in the sunshine, they definitely want to feel the music, which was easy for us to kind of get into the mode to perform.
Right. That sounds so cool. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Are you a self-taught musician or did you have someone teach you?
Self-taught, but we were lucky to have friends who are very talented in music, and so we could kind of learn from them and from their years of experience to kind of find the shortcuts to get out our sound directly.
Right. Okay, that's cool. What software did you start making music on? Like what DAW?
We started on Audacity because at the time in high school we were speaking French, and that was just the first recording equipment that we had. Eventually we migrated to Ableton, and we've been on Ableton since.
Oh, that's so cool. So
Thank
you
you.
said that you had friends that helped you learn. So do you still talk to any of them now?
Of course, free vibes to Zach Mitchell, free vibes to Warren Wolf, free vibes to Lucio West, and free vibes to anyone else who we've collaborated with, of course.
Hmm. Was it stressful learning the software?
No, because we had something in our head that we needed to get out. So the more that we understood it, the better we felt about what we were doing and the art, because we better knew how to get it out into reality.
Right. Was it the same with Ableton?
Yes, with Ableton, again, it's very specific as to how it works, but once you understand it and you know the shortcuts, it's pretty easy to get out your work.
Hmm. What's your favorite part of making music?
It's that feeling when you know that you've made a song that you're proud of. It sends goosebumps down our arms. It doesn't matter what
Ooh.
genre of music it is, whether it's our own music or somebody else's music. There's certain music that creates a sensation within our body, and when music gives us that sensation, we know that there's something special. And so we're always constantly searching for that feeling, almost like a junkie.
That's cool.
Thank you.
So I would say that you're pretty passionate about music right now. Have you always been that way?
100%. We were always the person among our high school friends who would listen to all the leaks, be on Hot New Hip Hop, Lil Wayne HQ, updating everybody's iPods because we had the newest leaks.
That's so cool. That is literally so cool.
Thank you.
Right. So you collabed with a lot of artists. Who is your favorite collab that you've done so far?
In terms of a more popular artist, we've collaborated with Lil B, which is very special because
Yes.
we grew up back in 2013 listening to Lil B's music and Krayshawn, who we also were fortunate to have an interview with. So we were very
Yeah.
fortunate to interview Krayshawn, have a song with Lil B, and do an interview with Lil B.
That's awesome. So as
Thank you.
far as interviews, how long have you been doing interviews?
We started about a year ago. We started just first talking. Those were the first 5 episodes of Welcome to the Matrix, us talking about our principles. The next 5 episodes, we then started to do interviews, and now we're working on the third season to get another set of interviews.
Cool. So what made you want to interview people, and when did you get the idea to start Welcome to the Matrix? Like, how did that come to be?
We felt as if, just like us, we had a very unique way of being presented to the world and to the television. There are people that we followed for years who we want to know what happened to them, what are they doing, how are they? And so we thought that it'd be good to create a platform to kind of speak to these people and see how they've handled fame, celebrity, and their life within the limelight. And to create a platform, again, what we're doing is more than just music. It's visuals, it's hoodies, it's clothing, it's a lifestyle. And so we want to bring other like-minded individuals into this and to show people that we're not alone.
Right. So how many interviews have you done so far? Like,
We've done 5 and put out.
Oh, you have 5?
Yes.
Oh,
We
that's
did one
so
with Neil
cool.
deGrasse Tyson, Molly Brazy, who's a female artist,
Oh, I love
Stu
Molly.
Nice, Krayshawn, and Sarah J., who's an adult entertainer. And we're working on next seasons, and we'll do a leak here. We're currently in talks to talk to Tiffany Pollard from I Love New York.
Ooh.
And we're also trying to talk to Marin Altman, who is a astrologist and TikToker and crypto enthusiast.
These are so cool. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
So how do you kind of get in contact with those people? Do you just like hit them up or?
Of course, we have our team. Kyle Duvall reach out. He's our press publicist. He reaches out to people who we think would be good guests. And if he can coordinate it, then we set up a time just like this and we get on camera. We do all interviews right here.
Wow, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. So, do you do your interviews off the dome or do you like write questions?
We definitely write questions. We try to do as much research as we can about a person before we meet
Right.
with them. We try to learn about them. And we obviously try to interview people who we have a emotional connection to.
That makes sense. So you spoke about your interview with Lil B. I want to talk about Krayshawn also because I love her also. But what was that like? Like, was it exciting for you talking to him?
Yes, Little B is as close to God as we can get in the human form. So to speak to Little B, the bass god, was the highest honor. And of course, their camera was off, which we could only hear their voice, which soothed our ears. And Little
Right.
B dropped real knowledge. Little B talked about the industrial complex prison pipeline. He talked about his music, talked about data, talked about just being an entrepreneur, talked about an emerging tech. It was very, very inspirational to talk to Little B. And for Little B to also get on the track with us, we'd reached out for an interview. So we weren't even trying to promote our music or even plug ourselves. And he said, family, send us a verse. And it happened.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you, bass god.
Free vibes to Little B.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. And as far as Krayshawn, how did you grow up listening to her? Were you a big
Yes, we
fan?
grew up. Yes, of course. We hadn't been to the Bay Area until we were in our 20s,
Right.
but remotely on the East Coast, we were very aware of who she was, her work, her talent, and even her recent Twitch streaming days. So we've been big fans for a long time. And we were grateful that Krayshawn took that time. She invited us to her Discord server. She's been very nice. She gave us some recommendations when we were in LA on places to go. And she was real. She told us what it was like being signed to a label, her experiences in the industry, and always kept it real. So free vibes to Krayshawn as well.
Wow, that's awesome. Speaking of labels, are you signed to a label?
No,
You're an
we've been
independent
independent
artist?
our entire journey.
That is amazing because you're like doing
Thank
really,
you.
really good.
Thank you. That means a lot, truly.
Yay. But I got sidetracked. So, how many projects have you done? Did I ask you that already? No, I didn't.
No,
Yeah, how many projects
So-
have you done?
every project that we have out is a mixtape. We have no albums out, no official releases, because again, all of the work that you guys see and hear was made from this bedroom. All of the music that you've heard was self-funded. And so because of that, we're going to call it a mixtape until we get an official deal.
Right.
We're also not stressing for a deal. We're not looking for a deal. We've managed to find financial freedom through blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So we really create from a place of love. And we're hoping that if we ever do get a label, it would be with somebody who respects and understands our vision and the Borgs.
Right.
And so to finish answering your question, we have 3 mixtapes out. You have Orin, which was the first one. You have No Adlib, which is the second one behind us. And then the third one was Mutant. We might be working on a fourth one called Evil Genius.
Ooh. So which one of those projects is your favorite and why?
Well, each one relates to a different time period in our life. 2019 was Orin, 2020 was No Adlib, and 2021 was Mutant. Even though Mutant came out in 2021, we actually made the music in 2018, so it's
Oh,
actually
wow.
old. Our favorite would probably be between No Adlib and Orin because they're the more recent material. They're both different. No Adlib almost has no auto-tune. Orin has a bunch of auto-tune. It's again 2 different styles and palettes. We try to change it up with every project.
Right. That's really cool.
Thank you.
So as far as projects, let's talk about some of your songs. What was the name of your first song? And how long ago did you make it?
Our first song ever.
Yes, very first song.
This is going to be difficult because we've made countless songs since then. We'll say that our first song was called Deeper. It was a song that was a bit R&B, it was a bit experimental, and obviously sexual undertones. And we played it for our friends. They were all smoking, marijuana. And they said that the song added to the experience of getting high. And that was when we knew that we could create something that had that atmosphere and ambiance. So Deeper was our first song.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
Okay, now I have some questions about social media because the way you navigate oh my god, the way you navigate the internet and just like get yourself out there is very interesting. So it's almost as if like you aren't very like, okay, so you have like rappers who will just be on social media all day every day, and they're not really doing anything to promote themselves. They're kind of just using the app like a regular person, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not a very strategic thing. So how often do you come on social media? Because like I follow you and like I see you post every once in a while, but you don't post very often. And then when you do post, it seems to be strategic. Have you always been that way? Have you always used social media that way?
We used to use social media a little bit more freely. You know, when Instagram was first coming out, probably up until 2017, we used it a little bit more loosely. After a while, Instagram has become more of a social resume. And so we kind of treat it a little bit more seriously. When we post on Instagram, we try to let people know there's an update, there's an announcement, or there's something coming. We used to be a little bit more loose on TikTok. Again, posting every day. We have 250,000 on there, but we've decided to pause that because we're going to start something a little bit more serious as well. But we try to use our social media as a chance to let you know this is something that we care about. Please pay attention to this, and that we spent a lot of time working on this.
Right. So how do you feel about social media? And when I say like how do you feel about social media, I mean like social media as a whole.
It's a black hole. Most
Yeah.
people are lost in it. We're all scrolling. We're all stuck inside of our houses, looking at other people's social medias. They're lying about what they're posting. They don't even actually own the clothes or the cars that they wear, and yet we're still jealous of them.
Right.
Social media is a deluge. The only person who wins is Instagram, Facebook, and Meta, who steal your data.
Yeah. Have you always felt that way?
Yes, but at some point we were probably caught inside of the matrix ourselves. We had to take a break. And so that's the reason why on our social media for the past year, we did not post. We needed to take a break. After appearing on national television, our platform definitely increased in numbers, but we felt like social media was not the best way to get out, at least in the form that we were at the time. We took a year break, and now we're coming back. And it feels like after that break, people are now listening to what we have to say attentively.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
So, as far as music and other things, I know you have merch. I know you do shows. I know you have cryptocurrency or whatever and things like that. How do you promote yourself properly, like with your social media platform? Like because it seems like whenever you try to promote yourself on not specifically you, but just in general, like whenever people try to promote themselves on social media, it's like it can either work or it won't work. So like, how do you do it properly so that it works every single time? Like, what do you do?
You need to understand what social media you're using and where your audience is, right? Our TikTok fans expect something. Our YouTube fans expect something, our Discord fans expect something, and our Instagram fans expect something. And they all might expect something different, and the way that content gets consumed is also different on those platforms. So we try to think about content that's going to engage each of those platforms.
So before you started to build a platform for yourself, what did you do to promote yourself?
We're on social media, doing a lot of shows, doing a lot of personal connections in New York, meeting people, going to social events, which now that we look back, definitely a different time.
So would you say that's how you built your platform? And if not, then how did you build your platform?
Our platform was built through an amalgamation of things. First and foremost, it was by having unique content that we posted on SoundCloud. We eventually got into the local community. People like Doja Cat, UV Boy Shamana would eventually repost our music. So we got into the community. They supported us and started to promote our music. We graduated from NYU. There are a bunch of musicians there, a bunch of local artists who we respect and love. They started to get us on their bills, they would open for us, we would open for them. Again, getting into that community. And then of course, just pushing ourselves on the internet. You have to market yourself, you have to campaign yourself, and just having something that you stand for. And hopefully people will connect with that.
Okay. So when did you start to realize that you had a fan base, and did that make you feel, or how did that make you feel? I'm sorry.
People have always liked our music, thankfully. People have always reached out to let us know that they support us. And of course, when we went on national television, things kind of just 10x'd. And again, it's more important what you're doing before the cameras than it is on the cameras, because the cameras are going to make it harder. When you have a bigger fan base, when you have more fans, if you haven't practiced with no fans, you don't want to learn when you have thousands of fans waiting for you.
Right. So as far as fans, how do you interact with fans and supporters in a safe way? Because I feel like people in person and on the internet can be crazy nowadays. So how do you do it in a safe way?
Definitely through Discord. We use our Discord as a place to kind of talk to the Borgs, to get to know them. And from there, that's where we develop the personal relationship. So you can follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, but we're really talking to the Borgs is in Discord. And that's where we get to know people, their names, where they're from, what they like. And that's how we can develop personal relationships with our fans.
Right. So you've done shows and things like that, and you're a pretty big artist. So have you been recognized in person? And how do you interact with the people who recognize you in person? And how do you interact with the people at your shows and things like that?
Definitely. It's been a blessing. We live in New York, and some people have recognized us because of TikTok, because of things that we've done, and we're always friendly. People ask for a selfie, people open up their phones and ask if that's you. We say yes. People have given us hugs before in the streets. We're very open.
Right. So have you had any bad experiences with fans?
One experience, but we don't want to necessarily promote it. Basically, a person
Right.
was across the train tracks trying to record us, and they kept trying to pull out their phone very slyly. So we had to go down the train station to get away from them. But they followed us.
Oh.
It was pretty funny, to be honest.
Aw. Oh God. Um. Ooh, what is your favorite time that someone recognized you in person? Your favorite time?
We were at a supermarket, and a woman stopped us and said, "We're going to change our voice." "Oh, hello there. I didn't recognize you because you're not acting like a cyborg. How are you?" And it was an older black woman, and she just embraced us. And this was during the middle of the pandemic, right? The
Oh.
pandemic happened in February or March, and this woman recognized us and just gave us a big hug, and we hugged her back. And it was a
Aw.
beautiful moment because even though there was all of this craziness in the world, this woman wanted to hug us. Our instinct was to hug her, and we had this moment in the supermarket, and it was genuine.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yes.
So do you have experiences like that often?
Yes, people look at our face and say, "We remember you, even if we don't know where, you seem familiar," and we're always friendly. Like, yes, we've lived in New York our entire lives, we've gone to NYU, we're around.
Cool, cool, cool. Um.
We wanted
So.
to answer one more question specifically a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
You asked us, how do we engage our fans and build our audience?
Right.
And another thing that you have to do is you have to stay alert with what's going on. You have to keep reinventing yourselves. What a lot of people think is that going viral once or having one hit song is enough. And as we all know, going up on a Tuesday is a hit, but nobody's playing it today. So
Yeah.
you have to keep staying with the times. And that doesn't mean following every trend. That doesn't mean following what your peers are doing, but you have to be in tune. And we've been fortunate that over the years, we've had different moments of virality, right? We
Right.
were the Roast Lord working with Joji. We then did the Claro Challenge, which went viral, which Claro retweeted. We then went on national television. And so all of these things have been adding to our story over time. But each time it was a different way of going viral. And so that's adding to the story.
Okay. That's very interesting. As far as reinventing yourself, can you elaborate more on that? Because that's very interesting.
Of course, even for us, this is probably version 49. We're trying to get to version 100. And so you constantly have to reinvent the wheel, reinvent your sound, reinvent your music, reinvent your style. And so we've constantly had to do that, right? Before we were on national television, we had a certain aesthetic. We were still in the cybernetic vision. After going on television, it definitely enhanced everybody's adoption of the cyborg. And then now, even taking it a step further, we're trying to deliver experiences in the metaverse, VR experiences, NFTs, and things like that. And again, using the newest and latest technologies to connect with our audience.
Wow. You make it sound like it's easy. Is it easy for you to reinvent yourself? Like, do you just experiment?
It's not easy for everyone, but we've trained ourselves to make it an instinct. We
Right.
love learning new things. We love connecting the dots. That's something that we think that we're good at. And so the more information we have, the more that we can connect those dots and the easier it is to stay ahead.
Right. Okay. 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 That's super cool.
Thank you.
So I have a question. This is just like really simple. So there's a saying that you say all the time. It's free vibes, and then you do like a symbol with your hand. What does that mean? Yeah, that. What does that mean?
Free vibes is just this. For the people who are in your Discord who follow you, right now they're getting some vibes for free. We're speaking, talking about the Matrix, talking about music, fashion, the Black experience in America, and being a cyborg from the future. And it costs them nothing. The vibes are free. Everybody wants to charge you for your time. They want to charge you. We give out our vibes for free. We release animated music videos. We give out merch. We do NFT giveaways for free.
Oh wow.
Free vibes.
Free vibes. So, as far as the hand symbol, what does that mean?
It was adopted from Star Trek. This is the Vulcan symbol.
Right. That's cool.
And again, it's just a sign of intergalactic peace.
That's super cool. Okay. So, what is the difference between human Orin and cyborg Orin?
When we're in cyborg mode, we speak in third person. We are a little bit more staccato with the way that we explain things, and we might be a little bit more devoid of emotion. When we go into the human mode, we're a little bit more expressive. We might use the pronoun I, and then we're going to be probably more emotional, doing music, creating things, right? So we're a little bit more composed. Orin, real Orin, is the emotional, sentient, feeling part that then can express that in ways that humans understand, like voice and sound.
Right. Okay. So, how did you find cyborg Orin? When did they come into play?
Of course, back in 2017, we were abducted by a collective conscious, and they told us about the incoming apocalypse and made some upgrades to our body, to our leg, and to our mind. And since then, we've been in full cyborg mode. And if people want to know more about the abduction, we talk about it in a song called Harley, which has over 100K on YouTube, and which shows a reenactment of the alien abduction.
Ooh, cool.
And that song is also in NBA 2K22.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yes.
Okay, Orin, how do you feel about organized religion?
Organized religion, if it gives people peace, if it's not obstructing on people's human rights or discriminating on people based on how they live their life or certain preferences, then we have no opinion on religion.
Right. Have you heard about the Anunnaki?
You're not the first person to bring this up, but feel free to continue.
How do you feel about them? Do you believe in them?
What is your definition of them?
Well, from what I understand, because I've never done or I haven't done too much research on them, they're an extraterrestrial race that is supposed to be here or it's supposed to come here for the betterment of humans. So that's really all I understand about them. And then as far as your story, you've spoken about an extraterrestrial race coming to abduct you, and you speak about the betterment of the human race. So I feel like some things kind of go hand in hand. That's why I wanted to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. We just wanted to make sure that your definition would be the same as ours.
Right.
Of course, we're not going to mix our narrative with other people's beliefs. But yes, it seems as if humanity and this planet, everything feels a little bit too perfect. As if we've somehow been helped or nudged along the way for centuries to make sure that humans can make it to this point. Again,
Right.
think about all of the violence, all of the world wars, and it feels almost by the grace of some sort of higher presence that we haven't blown each other into smithereens. So yes,
Okay. So how do you feel about conspiracy theories? And when I say conspiracy theories, I mean just conspiracy theories overall.
they give us excitement. They give us something more magical to look forward to. It lets us know that the world isn't boring, but that anything can happen.
Right. So what is the Matrix?
The Matrix is a mindset. The Matrix is saying that you cannot, I have not, we cannot, we have not. It is a mindset. A lot of the times, before we've even tried, we've put out constrictions and barriers with the way that we've spoken about it. And we need to realize that the Matrix wants you to do that. They want you to doubt yourself. They want you to look at that new L'Oreal commercial and say, your hair doesn't have enough sheen without this product and you're ugly. That is the Matrix. It is self-hate.
Oh, wow. So would you say you're out of the Matrix?
You have to go into Matrix to get out of the Matrix. Because we were once in the Matrix, we are currently out, but we might have to go back in to get out. And that's what happened in the new Project X video. We were in the matrix, we were free, we went back in, and we realized that we were in and we had to break out. And so that's the reason why Project X has that narrative where we're breaking out of the matrix.
So did you go back in intentionally, or was it just something that happened?
It's something that happens, and that's how the world works. It puts a veil over your eyes, you start to get comfortable, and all of a sudden you realize that you're back into the matrix. And that's when you have to take that pill again and get out.
Okay. So as far as Cyborg, Orin, are they like going to be here forever, or is that something that you feel like will like come and go?
The collective will come and go as they please. Again, sometimes we let real Orin take the stage. We feel as if right now we want everybody to know that we're serious. We've taken a break for a year, and so we want everybody to know that nothing has changed. So that's the reason why the collective is here today.
Right. That's so cool. Hold
Thank
on,
you.
my dog is barking. I gotta take him outside.
No problem.
Okay, I'm back. So, do you mind if I talk about you going on national TV? I'm not going to say any names, but I have like probably like 4 or 5 questions that I want to ask. I may or may not ask all of them.
Yes.
So what was it like going on national TV? How did you get that opportunity?
It was definitely, our mother was worried about us. She believed that we needed help. She reached out to a professional, and that professional then gave us the help that we needed and helped us to create some coping mechanisms to be able to differentiate between reality and some of the more fantastical things that we see in our head.
So did you want to go onto national TV?
We definitely wanted to continue spreading our message, and we definitely wanted peace inside of our home.
So was being on national TV, were there parts that were scripted?
No.
So what was life like after going on national TV? And how old were you when that happened?
We were probably somewhere around 24. And when that happened, our life changed forever. People say things happen overnight and it was never the same. And that was definitely one of those moments. We couldn't have expected how people would have reacted. The messages that we got, the out support, it was more than we could have imagined. At one point when it first happened, we couldn't even use our phone. We just had to kind of put it face down and just text people when we needed something because it was overwhelming.
Oh, wow. So how did you learn how to cope with all that attention coming at you at one time? Because that sounds crazy.
At first, we tried to take it all in. We tried to meet it head on. And we did. You know, when we first went on national television, we didn't even have a TikTok. A couple months later, we had 250,000. We made it face on, meeting all of our new fans, engaging them on TikTok, on YouTube, going live. But after a year of doing that, we were exhausted. We didn't have enough energy to keep giving to people through social media. And so that's the reason why the past year we took a break and we decided to focus on ourselves, to heal ourselves, and to figure out better and healthier ways to communicate with the boards.
So how did the people in your physical life react to you going on national TV, and how did they treat you after?
Mixed reactions. There were people who were angry and upset and confused. There were people who thought we were joking. There were people who obviously thought that it was incredible. We had almost every single type of reaction you could imagine.
Oh, wow. You were speaking about energy and not having the energy to continuously interact with people on the internet. Do you feel like the way you interact with people and navigate the internet now is like more energy conserving?
Yes, 100%. It's all about us. It's not about anyone else. It doesn't matter what they think about our lives. We're doing this for us. We're sharing and giving you a piece of into our life, and so you should be grateful.
Right. So how did you get to that mindset?
We had to turn off the social media. We stopped posting for at least 6 months on TikTok, on Instagram, and that's social suicide. No one in their right mind will stop posting for 6 months.
Yeah.
But we turned away. And we were grateful that even though we took a break for 6 months, we came back about a month ago, started posting a little bit more, dropped a new track, dropped a video, and the out support has been great. So we're grateful that people still rock with us, still support us, and people still kept commenting in our Discord, letting us know they want new music, that they love By My Side, and that we need to keep going with this narrative.
Yeah, this is really cool. So I have, like, the way I wrote my questions, they're kind of all over the place. That's why I'm like hopping back and forth through topics, so bear with me. But I want to ask you a bit about your fashion choices and like your fashion sense, because I feel like your style is very, very interesting. Like, it's cool, it's very new. I feel like it's fresh. I feel like it kind of reminds me of not like, so when people say cyber Y2K, the average person will think of like, you know, like McBling fashion. But when I say cyber Y2K, I mean, like, for example, like the TLC music videos where they all have on like the latex and the crazy hairstyles. Your style kind of reminds me of that. And then I also feel like there's some other influences also. Sometimes I look at your outfits and they kind of remind me of Bloody Osiris. Do you know who that is? Yeah. So I'm like, where do you get your fashion inspiration from, and how do you piece together outfits, and what are some of your favorite pieces that you've worn?
Thank you. This is a great question. We've grown up and we've loved hip hop, so we've always been adjacent to fashion because hip hop and fashion go back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, our favorite time period is probably the early 2000s. At that time, civilization, especially America, thought we were going to be in the future. We had CD players, we had Walkmans, we were about to have the iPod and the Zune. And there was just, we thought we were in the future, but we weren't yet. And we always loved the 2000s and the Y2K era for that. So we're definitely trying to bring some elements of that into the future.
Right.
So we bring that Y2K, that cyber vibe, and bringing it into the 2000s with our own grunge influences. We listen to a lot of rock punk music. We love the styles of that. We wear a lot of Trip New York City. And we also love street fashion. We work for the Hip Hop Museum, so we collect FUBU, South Pole, all of the modern brands from the 90s, Baby Fat, and we also wear them as well. So we love fashion. We worked for Luar, we modeled for Telfar. We've been following those brands since we were probably in high school when we were 17, 18. So fashion is very much a part of us. We even designed some clothes once.
Oh, wow. So what is your favorite outfit that you have posted on Instagram, or your favorite outfit that you've worn to a show, or just, do you have any pictures of it?
It might be on our Instagram. We dropped a song called A Lot, and we took a photo on the ground. We have maybe a blue knit sweater, and you can see the ribs here, and it says Orin, and the pants have zippers on the side. That is a complete custom outfit that we created with a designer in Milan, Paris. And that was all created between us and RKRK. Her name's Rebecca Zoli. And so that's custom Orin gear that we created, from the thread to the color to the way that the seaming is. And so that's one of our favorite outfits because we created it.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
So there's this picture on your Instagram that I feel like is very interesting. It's a picture in your entire outfit, except for your shoes and your hat and some of your accessories. They're made of trash bags. Did you make that yourself?
No, actually, that was sent to us by a Borg. When we went on national television, one of the Borgs reached out and said, hey, big fan of some of your older music. They loved Moonlight Anime. They sent us a video of them creating fashion to our music. We saw some of the things they were creating and said, we would love if you would create something for us. We paid them for their time, and then they sent us back that trash bag outfit, and we wore it. It was amazing.
So is that like a statement piece? Is there a deeper meaning behind that outfit?
People will look at anything and think it's trash, but it all depends on how you rock it.
Right. I think it looks cool. So
Thank you.
yeah. But if I find the picture of the outfit that you were talking about a few seconds ago, I will insert it in a video whenever I edit. But
Thank you so much.
No problem. So on your Instagram, there's a lot of like digital art. Do you create those, or do you have like a team that does those?
We have a team, and it's not like a formal team, like everyone works for Orin LLC, but they're freelancers, they're friends, they're talented people, and normally we take a photo and we say, we should edit this photo with this, and then we think about people who could bring that to life, and then we work with them for that picture. And that's how we kind of want our Instagram presence to be. That's why we're not posting all the time. When we drop, we want it to be special, and we want to bring you guys into our world. And so we're going to keep carefully crafting each piece of this world for you guys.
Right. That's really cool. And then also, there's a couple of TikToks that I've seen by you, like, in this past year, where like there will also be like digital effects inside of those videos. So like whenever you guys are doing those videos, like how do you go about doing them? Do you like record a skit and come up with ideas later, or do you have like an idea already and then you go and record? And
We usually have an idea already. We live life, we think of things, skits or comedic things, and then we go outside and film them and then try to deliver it to the Borgs in a way that they're used to.
Cool. So once again, I'm all over the place. So you talk a lot about Bitcoin and cyber currency. So when did you start to get into that, and who taught you about it?
Of course. So we went to NYU. One of our classmates, Anibal Serial, talked about this cryptocurrency called Ethereum, which is now the second biggest cryptocurrency and probably the second oldest. That was in 2016, 2017. And so we've been investing in cryptocurrencies since 2016, 2017. In 2020, somebody bought one of our NFTs for over 1 Ethereum. That would be about $4,000 at the time of writing. That was when we kind of realized that not only can we invest in the tokens, but the digital art and the entire ecosystem. That was 2020. In 2021, we had our own idea for a cryptocurrency for a business. And so for the past year, when we took that break, we worked on that business. And so we did some incubators, we did some accelerator programs, and we're actually working on launching that program in June. So we're trying to rev up our music and rev up this platform so that everything can coalesce at the same time.
I feel like cryptocurrency and like things like NFTs are like very confusing. Like I don't understand them myself. So could you explain the difference between an NFT and a cryptocurrency? Like are they different? Are they the same thing?
They're basically the same thing. The difference is that a cryptocurrency is a token, which you can use. A cryptocurrency and an NFT are the same thing. The difference is that a cryptocurrency is just the token. An NFT, you can kind of put anything into it. See it as a virtual container.
Right.
So that container does have a value like a token, but you could put a contract in it. You could put digital art in it. The token is just a token, but they both have value and they're both stored and tracked on a blockchain. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you. That made a lot of sense.
Right.
So I've seen or I've heard recently that with people buying NFTs, there's like this a yacht or some type of like club that you get to go to if you have an NFT. Is that true?
So there are hundreds and thousands of NFTs.
Right.
Each cryptocurrency can facilitate NFTs. So if you have an NFT on Ethereum, it would probably be separate from Bitcoin because the coding for Bitcoin and Ethereum is separate. So the cryptocurrency and the NFTs that you're talking about are probably the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah.
And so these are some of the older monkey images that are on Ethereum. And so there's not actually a yacht, but you do get access to certain discords, to certain alpha information, and you get certain perks for holding this NFT. And people can verify that you hold this NFT because Jules will say, this is my wallet. And if her wallet does not have that NFT, then she doesn't get access into the Discord, into all the experiences. And the experiences is the yacht. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. For the longest, I thought it was like a physical yacht. No, my God. Oh, I lost my train of thought. So you said that one of your friends briefly taught you about cryptocurrency and things like that. How did you continuously learn about cryptocurrency, and how do you stay on top of like cryptocurrency and NFTs and things like that so that you're constantly gaining?
Great question. So most of the crypto world happens on Twitter. So if you want to know about crypto Twitter, you should probably go to Twitter. And so in our following on Twitter, Real Orin, we follow at least 400 different crypto people. If you want to know the crypto market, the fluctuations, you go there. But most crypto happens on Twitter, it happens on Discord, and it happens on Telegram. Facebook and Instagram are not as relevant for most crypto companies. And if you guys want to stay in the loop, you can download an app called CoinGecko. It allows you to track the portfolio of your assets, but they also have a news tab. In the news tab, you'll learn what's the most syndicated news of the day, and you can kind of stay up to date on CoinGecko, as well as track your portfolio all from one app.
Okay. That's really interesting. And then also, you're so open about like talking about cryptocurrency. I noticed when I was in your server, you and your Borgs, you guys just talk about it all the time, and you teach them about cryptocurrency and things like that also. And that's not very common. I don't feel like people being open about cryptocurrency, because I feel like most of the people who talk about cryptocurrency and things like that, it's like they don't want other people to hop on the wave, and you're the complete opposite. So like, how did you get there, or why are you so open?
What's funny is that the moment that you talked about that, and the fact that we talk about cryptocurrencies in the Discord with the Borgs, one of the most active Borgs in our crypto channel just joined. So we want to give a shout out to Misplaced in this interview.
Hey.
And thank you to the great TA in our Discord, The Matrix. But for us, we see cryptocurrency similar to the early 2000s or early 90s internet revolution. The internet in the 90s was basically the wild, wild west. And people like Mark Cuban bought up billboards and bought up domains and ended up selling them to big companies and got rich. And so we see the crypto revolution as another technological revolution, kind of like a gold rush. And instead of being greedy and getting there first and charging everybody to then get access, we want to help more people to get there. If there's a gold rush, we're going to be selling shovels.
Right. Okay, that's really smart. Hold on, give me a second. I'm sorry.
Understood. Free vibes to all of the Borgs watching this interview, Raven, Misplaced, and anyone else. Free vibes to all of you.
Okay, so I think those were all the questions I had written down. So I'm just going to let the audience ask questions. So does anybody, okay, if anybody wants to ask a question, you can type in general. Just like say something in general, and I will let you speak in the call. Wapo, did you want to ask something? Okay, bet. Hold on, I'm going to let you talk. Okay, you should be able to unmute now and talk. Try it. Is it working? Hold on. I'm going to give you the rock star role so you can just speak. Okay, what did you want to say, Guapo?
Oh, nah. I was just, I heard the, Orin, I heard the nigga talking, man. I fuck with you. You said some real shit. You sound intellectual as hell. I really fuck with that. I never heard any of your music type shit, but I did follow you just off your energy, off your vibes, free vibes.
Thank you so much.
What you want? I was really trying to ask, like, cause you got to think, like, for some of us, like, what motivated you to keep going in this, like, in the beginning when you first started?
A vision. We've had a strong vision since we were kids of being on tour, of creating experiences, of delivering unique content. And our child vision and where we are now is not the same, but we did it. People around the world recognize us, understand and know us. It's maybe not what we thought it would be, but it was a vision that kept us going and constantly delivering that vision. And even now, right, we're not doing this for a label. We're not doing this to get signed. We just have a vision of the world, of cyborgs, of Afrofuturism in space, and we're going to deliver that. And that's the reason why we spend our own money on our music videos. Doesn't matter if we get 100 views or 1 million. We're just putting this out because we think that people need to see this. And in 30 years, when everybody's a cyborg and trying to do visuals like this, we'll say, well, we invested in that future.
Yeah, type shit. And then going like deeper into the question, is that what keeps you, I don't know how to consistent, or I don't know how consistent you are, but is that what keeps you consistent to get to the point you are now?
Definitely. The vision helps us going, but some nights it's not easy, right? And that's why we talk about a year after being on national television, we needed to take a break. So we went on national television January of 2020. By December, we physically just broke down, like damn near depression. And so from December 2020 until basically a month ago, we were on hiatus, not posting on social media. We needed to figure out what was right for ourselves. And so not music is everything for us. You know, it gives us a feeling that we can't put into words. It gets us high. And that's why you do music. You know, it's not for the clout, it's not for the likes, it's not for the attention that it brings. It's because you genuinely love music. And if you love music, you keep making it and you find different ways to connect with people. And if you really love your music and if you really believe that you're the next big thing, you're going to find a way to let everybody know that that's who you are.
Okay, I fuck with that. Then also, like, when you first started, like, you're on your first songs and stuff, like, never mind, bro. I forgot what I was gonna say, to be honest.
Okay, well, thank you, Guapo.
That's all I had to say, but thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it.
Of course. And on our first songs didn't sound anything like what we wanted to. And even a year ago, you know, we had a video a year ago that has 250,000 views, and even that music didn't sound like what we wanted it to. But that keeps us going as well, trying to get that perfect song that we can just keep playing. We don't even listen to our music a lot in our spare time. We listen to other artists, we listen to classical music, but our goal was to get that song that we can't stop listening to.
So, like, shit, yep. You read my mind and answered the exact question I had. I really fuck with it, man. Keep grinding, man. You going up, man. And stay positive, bro.
Thank you, Borg. Free vibes. We appreciate you.
Free vibes.
And DM us on Instagram if you ever have any questions.
All right. Thank you, Guapo. We have someone else who wants to ask you a question or a few questions. Everybody, you get 3 questions. And then I'm going to move on to somebody else just so that everybody gets a chance to ask questions. And then I have a couple more questions that I want to ask you, and then we can wrap things up.
Sounds good.
Okay. There you go, Chrome. You should be able to talk now. You could just unmute. Hello? Chrome? Okay. Well, does anybody else want to ask questions? Sierra, I know you had some questions that you wanted to... What?
Ask questions.
Oh, okay. You can go,
don't mind.
Thermo.
Okay, Orin, so I'm looking at your page and everything, and I seen you, like, when you got on the Dr. Phil show and stuff like that.
Ooh.
What made you become this persona? What made you go into the cyborg route?
We feel as if the universe needed it. The world needed it. You know, we're not trying to say that we're a leader or a role model, but we're trying to set the example that will inspire the next generation of leaders. And we believe that there's enough examples of rappers, of gangsters, and things like that. And there's not enough of black people in space, of black people being astronauts. That was the reason why we had that talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, because how many black astrophysicists get national television attention, are respected? And we need more examples of that. And so we believe that this energy, this persona, this being encapsulates a lot of things that we want, not just for the world, but for our people. And as well, things that we want to see in hip hop as well. Less booty shaking and more lasers.
Having fun, basically.
Exactly. And having fun. Exactly.
Okay. I seen that Guapo, he had a question about the NFT. How did you get into that?
So we found out about NFTs in 2018. At the time, there was no press around it. There was no conversation around it. We just did it as a joke. We minted our NFT for 0.1, or the cost was like $10 at the time. Or basically, we did it in 2018. The price of Ethereum was probably $100. Nobody was using super rare. We just heard about these NFTs that people would pay crypto for your art. We uploaded a GIF as a joke and just saw. We left it up there for 2 years. And then 2 years later, we got a notification that it had been sold for about $4,000. That was when we realized that there's something to be said about NFTs, that people might want our NFTs, and that then made us do our own NFT release with Mintbase on the Near protocol. And that just led us on a whole journey.
Okay. I like the sound of it. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, that's really all I had to ask. So I appreciate you for answering the questions, and you just continue doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Thermo. Free vibes, Thermo. Thank you.
Okay. So Sierra had some questions that she wanted me to ask, but she said she's shy, so I'll ask them for her. So
problem.
Sierra says, do you have a particular audience that you want to reach?
Ideally, we like our audience to be global. We definitely want to influence the youth, right? Adults, they've kind of lived their life. They have their set opinions. You know, younger people are a little bit more malleable. They have more familiarity with TikTok, with new trends, with Bitcoin, with cryptocurrency. So definitely a younger audience because they understand what we're talking about. They probably understand some of our references. But we want everybody to be aboard, you know, from your parents to your grandparents to your brother to your sister to your dog. Everybody can be aboard. And whoever connects with our message, this is for you.
Cool. Okay, so Sierra also asked, what project is your favorite? But I'm pretty sure I asked you that already. So I'll move on to their next question. They said, would you consider being successful? Would you consider yourself being successful?
Yes. And that was something that we talked to Guapo about, was that we had to redefine success for ourselves a year ago. And we gave ourselves a year to try and redefine that. And now we feel successful. We have a platform, we have devout supporters, people care about what we have to say, and we feel as if we're trying to make a change for other people's lives and through our art, and that's success for us. It's happiness. We're healthy, we can breathe, you know, nobody's trying to invade our land. We're blessed.
Okay. So I realized I read the question wrong, but you kind of already answered it. So could you kind of elaborate on what success means to you? Like, go into detail?
Success is just being happy with the results that you get, right? A lot of us are trained to think success means a brand new Tonka, 100K in your bank account, and a diamond encrusted Cyborg chain. And success could just be talking to somebody that you were arguing with for 3 years and you hadn't spoken, right? Success is just being happy with the results. And we have to train ourselves to be happy with the results, even if it's not 1 million likes or 1 million clicks. For us, if every song we get a new comment from somebody or we get a new fan, that's progress. If we get more streams on our new song than we did on our last one, that's growth. That's success, and that is moving forward. And you just want to keep moving forward, even if it's an inch, even if it's a centimeter or a mile.
Right. Okay, Chrome, do you have your questions? Can you talk now?
Hi, okay.
Yeah.
I finally can talk. Hi, Orin.
Greetings, Chrome.
It's not. I just wanted to say it was nice to hear you talk, especially about the existential reasonings on why you're who you are. It actually, I'm actually getting more into, and you gave me the motivation to do art now because now I realize the social constructs and the realizations that I had on my own success is the doubts is it comes to my own reality and it comes to seeing my own success, and I thank you for that.
Of course.
But my question, I was writing down a question, but my question to you is, how did Cyborg on, as what I understand, multi-dimensional being affected basis on that of an existential person on Earth, and did their presence transcend the thought processes of social constructs on Earth?
Of course. And you basically said it. That is basically what Cyborg Orin is. It can sometimes be a shield. It can sometimes be a place of escape. But for us, Cyborg Orin gave real Orin the strength to keep going, to ignore what other people have to say, and to kind of get in this mode that's a little bit more devoid of emotion, devoid of allowing other people to get into our headspace, and to have laser sharp focus. And by allowing the collective to take over our body, to be in those situations where we are laser like, when we get out of that, less things bother us. We realize that being in that headspace, not that you always want to be laser sharp focused, but you realize that sometimes you're letting in too much noise. And that's always been a beauty of it, is cutting out the noise. Even with the pandemic, we realized being in New York, running to parties, doing all this socialite stuff, it's good, but all of the answers are inside of you. Everything that we need is inside of us. We went to Los Angeles last month. Our roommate was friends with a lot of TikTokers, a lot of Depop people, a lot of attention. And the entire time we just stayed home and hung out with a couple of our friends. And while it was nice to hang out, or would have been nice to hang out with those people who have 500,000, we didn't want to. We were fine at home, hanging with our friends, making music, running around shooting music videos, because it's all inside of us.
Okay, and one more question I would ask would be, because I can ask you a lot of questions, but I want to give everyone else a chance. So do you think the emphasis of emotions are the reason why a lot of people don't succeed? Do you think the constant battle of emotions and your logical based thinking, well, let me change it. Do you think emotions kind of defeat the purpose of how would I say it? Succeeding in general, or like things like when you start having emotions a lot and you start getting sad, you start getting depressed, obviously it affects you, but do you think if we start putting emphasis on what's in front of us, do you think that would make us succeed better?
This is a beautiful question. And just as a side point, since there's a limit on questions, if you want to join our Discord, and we can definitely get into this more because your questions are very interesting.
Yeah.
To kind of preface for a second, that's a good question. We always talk about robots and AI being the future advancement of the human civilization. But the problem with robots and AI is that they don't have emotion. We believe that while emotions cloud us, it sometimes makes us rush. It is also a competitive advantage of humans. It allows us to sometimes do those super extraordinary things because that emotion fuels our body and we're able to do things that are outside of the scope. What we believe with emotion is that we just need to understand the effect emotion has on us, right? A lot of us go into situations and we're blind to what's going to trigger our emotions or how our emotions are going to react. And we need to be more conscious of this. We need to be more conscious of the fact that, hey, we're triggered. So if we're triggered, maybe we shouldn't go around people because that's the energy we're going to put out. Does that make sense?
Yes, I agree. And to add on to that, do you think the awareness? I also would like to say I think that's a great way to say it. But I think a lot of people jump into things with no intentions, like especially with our relationships to people. People like to go into things not knowing what the outcome or the input of that situation is. So I think that's also a thing to acknowledge too as well.
We agree.
But I would like to be in your Discord chat because honestly I think I would grow as a person with it. So if you would like to send it to me, I think that would be a great opportunity.
We will, thank you. And we'll tell Jules to ping it. And one more point to what you just said. We're in an incubator. We went to college and we enjoyed the feeling of being in school and learning, but we didn't want homework. So incubators and accelerators are kind of like businesses get together and create classes, and they have business professionals come to teach you. One of our teachers in our incubator said to us, they said, the best entrepreneur, it's not about having the most money. It's not about having the most resources. It's not about having the biggest and baddest company supporting you. They said that the best entrepreneurs is social and emotional intelligence, which makes sense. A person who can read the room, who can understand their impact on the room and where they sit on the room is probably going to have a better outcome in that room than the person who just walks in being loud if it's a library. Hope that makes sense.
I get it. I agree. But thank you so much.
Free vibes, board.
Yeah. Oh my God. Those were really good questions, Chrome. Oh my gosh.
Agreed. Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions that they want to ask? I'm gonna go check general right now. Miss Place, do you want to ask any questions? I know you're from their server. If you do, type in general. Aw, okay. Well, does anybody else have any questions? You can Google that. Oh, Sierra says, what genre of music is your favorite to make?
We're trying to go somewhere. We're trying to create a new body. We're trying to create a new sound. Right. Project X is not that new sound, but it's very in tune with the current sound. But we're trying to create a new sound that is going to be a mix of Beach House, of The Weeknd, of Jamiroquai. And those influencers are like R&B, indie, and then psychedelic rock. And we're trying to create a new sound that's pushing that. Definitely more singing from us. We want you guys to definitely hear more singing on our future releases. So that's the new sound that we're going for. But we listen to everything: classical music, jazz, hip hop, R&B. Obviously, it's not everything, but pop culture.
Cool. Okay, so I have a few more questions that I want to ask you. There was one question when we were speaking about cryptocurrency. I wanted to ask you this, but it slipped my mind because I got distracted. So do you have any advice to anyone investing in cryptocurrency?
To anyone, first and foremost, we're not a financial investor or a financial advisor.
Right.
So we're not giving anybody financial advice, but do your own research. Do not believe what people tell you. If somebody says invest in this, you better know why you're investing in it. You better know its environmental impact. You better know who is the developer, who's the core team. When you invest in something, you really want to know it. So it's like an artist, right? We know Little Uzi's birthday. We know Little Uzi's astrological sign. We know who he used to date. You should know any project that you invest in. You should understand it at that level. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on Twitter. Follow them on Discord. Follow them on Telegram. Follow them on Reddit. Learn about the company. And don't invest more than you're willing to lose, right? Don't put your life savings in something because somebody said it's going to double overnight. If you have $100, maybe start out with $1. Maybe start out with $5. Don't go more than 10 if you have 100, right? Don't invest more than you're willing to lose, right? The money that we have into the crypto market, if it goes to zero tomorrow, we've calculated for that risk and we've taken out profits to make sure that that doesn't hurt us. And so you have to make sure that you limit your exposure and your risk, and you have to evaluate your own risk level. So do your own research, learn. We're big supporters. We've had personal investments as well as they've invested in us. Near Protocol, it's in the top 30 cryptocurrencies. It is one of the only climate neutral cryptocurrencies in the world. So when people talk about NFTs are bad for the environment, Bitcoin is bad for the environment, Near cannot be posited as bad for the environment. They were climate neutral, rated by the South Pole. So we would definitely encourage all of the boards to learn about Near Protocol. If you join our Discord, we can tell you places to purchase it, and we can tell you more about their ecosystem.
And speaking of the Discord, the link is in the general chat. I will put it in the announcements chat also, but for now it's in the general chat. So if y'all want to join, then it's in there.
Thank you.
So do you have any advice to anyone wanting to build a platform?
Of course, anyone wanting to build a platform, we would definitely say feel free to get in touch with us. We're building a platform. We've been doing it for the past year. Depending on what type of platform you're building, what blockchain, we can recommend you to classes, we can recommend you to resources, we can recommend you to videos, and reach out. The crypto community outside of us is very inviting. It's very big. People, it's freeing, right? A lot of people have realized that working for Instagram and working for Facebook sucks. That Facebook and Instagram have their own narrative, and that if you work for them, you've got to do that. And now all of those people are leaving these corporations and flooding to Web3, flooding to blockchain, flooding to cryptocurrencies. And so a lot of these people are celebrating their freedom, and they want new friends. They want to celebrate this space. So don't be scared to DM people, to reach out and to learn, and make sure you do your research. A lot of the things that we need are on the internet. We self-taught ourselves cryptos, so you can do the same.
Right. Okay, cool. Do you have any advice to anyone wanting to pursue music?
Keep going. Anybody who wants to pursue music, keep going, have fun. Keep going, have fun, and you can make magic with your friends. If people haven't, Kanye has a new documentary on Netflix called Genius, and what you can tell is that Kanye had a vision, and he worked with the people around him that he knew in Chicago. Obviously, as he got bigger, some of those people are no longer in his camp, but he did it with the people that he knew around him. And we've made this platform from our bedroom. A lot of you guys saw us on national television in this bedroom. You see our Welcome to the Matrix episodes in this bedroom. You see this interview in this bedroom. We do interviews for our business in our bedroom. So don't sleep on where you are. People think that we need to make it to Hollywood, but Hollywood is here.
Right, Hollywood. Yeah, it's like a mindset.
Right, just like the Matrix.
Right. So do you have any advice to anyone in general? And I just mean like in life, because it seems like you're a person who's very knowledgeable about a lot of things. You've overcome a lot. You've done a lot in the amount of time that you've been here. So do you have any advice to anyone? And that's just on anything. I don't care how long it takes you to explain what you're saying. I just want to know what you think and what advice you have to give to people.
Just love. We've journeyed through the matrix. We've gone through black holes. We've gone through time and space. And the universal currency above Bitcoin and above Ethereum is love. And being kind. It goes longer than you think. The energy that you put out will come back to you. Even if the person that you're giving to doesn't know how to love, the universe loves you and will pay you back. And again, we're not doing this to be paid back. We're doing it because love is a currency that has no limit. And if more of us learned how to love and were more kind and were to give people that second chance, people would probably feel a lot better. And just to make sure that during this time you take extra attention to your mental health, we got a gym membership. We're going to be playing basketball every day. Go outside, get some sunlight, go see your friends. Don't let the news trap you inside, and go live your life. Go invest, go take that vacation that you were scared to do. Go live your best life. We only get one life, and we want everybody to have a good one.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. Thank you for that.
Of course.
My last question is, if you have anybody anywhere, somebody who just looks up to you, let's say it's a Borg or just somebody in general who looks up to you and they are discouraged, whether it be with music, whether it be with school, whether it be with just life, period, what would be your advice to them?
Keep going. Don't take it too personally. Some days are bad. Even cyborgs have bad days. Even real Orin has bad days, and you can't do anything about it. You just, wake up and try to get through the day. But it's like a roller coaster. There are ups, there are downs. It's like the weather. There's sunshine and there's rain. It's going to be okay. Do not let the downsides affect you because you're going to miss when things turn around. And just taking the bad moments for what it is. Sometimes we've been in a bad space and it's because of things that we've done. Sometimes we want to say, woe is us, but sometimes we've deserved it and we have to learn from the mistakes to make things better. And so just don't beat yourself up too much.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. That was so awesome. I really appreciate you coming to talk to me. That was super cool. And I hope in the future we can do a part 2.
Of course. And hopefully we can eventually get a track in as well, Jules.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But thank you so much. I'm going to wrap it up. I will send you the video